So I'm not gonna lie, I definitely messed up. Because here's the thing, I started playing Roblox Grow a Garden and I was really enjoying it. Like, I understood why the game was so popular, but I was really enjoying myself, so how exactly did I mess up? Well, that was about a month ago. And in fact, I don't know why, but for whatever reason, I just didn't sign on. And then the longer it took me before returning to my garden, the more I started to procrastinate with getting back to my garden. I'm like, I enjoy the game, so like, just go back. But regardless, I did eventually sign back in. And I spent the better part of a day, any chance I got, to sign back on and improve on my garden. And here's the thing, I will admit my garden is not the greatest. So I signed back in and I'm like, okay, my garden is fine. I've got around 10 million shekels. Really, it was 9.2, but I round up. It's like with my bank account, I always round up to the closest million. And 1 million always sounds a lot better than 0 million. So like, who's really counting? Well, I guess the bank is, and the government. But after signing back on, this is where I realized that the game started to taunt me. Seed shop has to be almost done. That's not me. What the flip? No, okay, that was trippy as hell. Because it took me a while before I got any sort of new seeds from the seed shop. Like, every time I went back and the garden kept resetting, I was like, please just give me like something new. Okay, what's in stock? Anything interesting? No? Still nothing. I sold some more stuff, ended up buying a mythical egg. Do I want to buy a mythical egg? Yeah, you know what? Why not? Like, what else am I going to use the money on? Now, I needed to wait 5 hours for it to hatch. Gotta wait 5 hours for the mythical egg. What can I get with the mythical egg? Something mythical, obviously, but I guess I shall see. So over the course of the day, I would constantly be signing off and then signing back in, you know, 10 minutes here and there. I will say I did have this massive pumpkin in my garden. What the flip is this? Look at this. Oh my gosh. This is a pumpkin? What the flip? Which is kind of impressive. Like, I don't really have that much to brag about with my garden, but you know, the pumpkin was. What I will say about these gardens though, is that the trees, you know, whether it's banana trees, coconut trees, you name it, any sort of tree makes the garden seem way better. What I will also say, although it's not that relevant, is you know how sometimes you have the different weather conditions and they improve growth? Man, when they had the Aurora Borealis, magnificent. What is going on with the sky? Okay, this is cool. Now, I will say, every time the seed shop reset and I didn't get any new seeds, it definitely started to weigh on me a little bit. Nothing? I still can't buy anything? I'm not saying I would have done anything drastic, but like, I'm not saying that either. Of course, I know I could always buy Robux and use it, but maybe one of these days I'll expedite a lot of videos with Robux, but that is not yet. Maybe one of these days though. Now, what I will say is that I started to fill up my garden with more cosmetics. Now, the cosmetics don't really do anything, they just look nice. But I bought a hay bale, I bought a log bench, then I bought a torch. What does a hay bale do though? That's my question. Yeah, I bought it, so I guess I'm just gonna put it up. Do I want to buy a torch? Yeah, might as well. And I guess a log bench, sure, why the flip not? I would actually buy some more torches later on, but what I will say is the torches in particular really fill out the garden and just make it look so much better. Like, does it really help? Not really, but it looks a lot cooler. Look at me sitting down. Look at me having a good time. But yes, more and more time went by and the seed shop kept resetting and giving me nothing really that valuable. Like, I got some more bamboo and some pumpkins, but again, it was nothing new. Of course, I would eventually get some new and interesting plants, but it would take a while and it would test my patience. Still no, nothing. Really? Come on. As much as I like this game, the waiting and almost the gambling aspect of the seed shop could be a little frustrating. Now, I did buy a godly sprinkler from the gear shop, placed it in the garden, which again helps speed along the growth of a lot of the different plants I had. I did end up gifting a flamingo I had to someone because, you know, especially because I received so much from generous people. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'm a generous guy. Am I really? I don't even know, but in the game, I'm like, yeah, I could give back to people, especially because I was gifted with so many valuable things. Like, half of my success with this game has simply been people giving me stuff. And in fact, I would get gifted some incredibly valuable things later on, which I'm not gonna lie, I still don't really know what to do with them. I'll talk about that in a second. But finally, I was able to buy a seed I didn't have, which was some corn seed. Corn, okay, yeah, I'll get some corn. Now again, it's nothing spectacular, but I didn't have any, so I'm like, okay, that's a positive. Now more time would go by, I would sell some more stuff, keep racking up the shekels. What? How did I get so much? I will say, I did stop by this one guy's garden, which both made me feel really bad, but also very impressed, because they had a garden worth 999 billion shekels. But regardless, it was like I went to a completely different planet. Like, looking at this place, it's like Pandora from Avatar or something like that. You know what I mean? I would love to get my garden to that point, and it would really help if I had any sort of consistency. Like, not going missing for a month would really help. Now, I did eventually have my first trade with someone. Nothing too valuable, but you know, I gave them some fruit, they gave me some fruit. But really, it was cool that I got to do my first trade with someone. Now finally, after so many times of signing on for 10-20 minutes, near the end of the day, I finally got a more unique seed from the seed shop. That of course was the dragon fruit seed. Now, especially because I hadn't gotten any new seeds in a while, I was like, okay, well, this is a positive. I'll take anything at this point. And after waiting for a bit, my mythical egg did hatch and I got a squirrel. Which, I mean, I guess is fine. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the biggest fan of squirrels. I have to deal with them every day outside my house, trying to get into my trash. And let me tell you, these little menaces will gnaw through the lids I have for the trash. Finally, I got a metal trash can, and I'm like, okay, gnaw through this. But regardless, I wasn't gonna do anything bad to this squirrel. I mean, maybe sell it, but I didn't sell it yet. And eventually I bought even more cosmetics to really fill out the garden, like more torches. And I am still surprised how much better the torches make the garden look. Like, it's a small thing, but it really does help. Also, I had some bamboo of mine grow insanely tall. Not the first time this has happened, but every time it happens, it really makes my garden feel a lot more impressive than it actually is. Now, I will say something I really liked was later I bought some more apple seeds, so that's nice. I did have an apple tree in my garden, but again, anytime I get to buy seeds that turn into trees in particular, I really enjoy it because it makes the garden look a lot more impressive. It adds a lot more height and it makes it look like I'm further along than I actually am. Now, another thing I bought was a bookshelf, and I put it at the very entrance of the garden, almost as like more of a barrier. Not that I'm trying to keep people out. I don't know, I just thought it was an okay place to put it. And it was at this point that my garden finally got its first like, which I know is not a big deal, but it felt like a big deal. And in fact, it wouldn't be long before I got my second like and my third like. I would even make some new friends playing the game. I actually genuinely started to feel really good about my garden, and here's the thing. This is where I got gifted some truly valuable things. So valuable, I'm not even sure what to do with them. Like, legitimately, I am still not sure what to do with them. Because I got gifted some tempestuous mutations, which I'm not even confident I'm pronouncing that right. But either way, I wasn't really sure what to do with them, so I asked how much were they worth, and apparently they were worth many billions of shekels, but I couldn't sell them, so I was like, what do I do? Like, anytime I tried to sell them, at least, it didn't work. Like, the guy would say, like, I'm not interested in buying right now. So I have these insanely valuable things, which I don't really know what to do with. But anyway, by the end, I was just like, you know, it was kind of a shame. I let so much time go by before getting back onto the game. But either way, I'm going to try to more regularly build up my garden. And what I will say is I will try and make an effort to upload very regularly. I would like to aim for getting out a video once a day. That might be a little lofty, but that is definitely the goal right now. Anyway, what do you think? If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, please hit that like button and consider subscribing if you aren't. And thank you for watching.